Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And so, our card tonight is the Queen of Wands, which in my mind really is about somebody who has been through some things in their life. They've gone through different phases and chapters and reached a place of real spiritual, emotional fortification. Okay. And so we're going to go ahead and look at the tea leaves and see what they have to say. If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so we have a face over here. We have the nose, the mouth. It's kind of gazing this way, the face. It's maybe the hair, the eyes up here. It looks like somebody who's maybe kind of youthful. We have another face over here, right here. It looks like a little fish or something. But I feel like we have a maybe a masculine person in their 20s, 30s maybe. And I feel like this is somebody who maybe isn't this age anymore, but they live at this age in your mind. I don't know if you have parted from one another. Your lives have taken you to different places, or you just lost contact. Maybe this is somebody who has transitioned, but I feel like this is a person who is very important to you even after all of these years. And up here I see we have a 4 and a 4. So we have 44 related to that person. And with this little face over here, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I almost feel like, I almost wonder if this was somebody like an older brother, or maybe somebody in the family that was like, a few years older than you, maybe somebody in the neighborhood who was a few years older than you. But I almost get this feeling of kind of following them around a little bit. Maybe like you would spy on them and their friends. And I feel like this was kind of a role model in some ways. I think this is somebody who was maybe a little bit eccentric, maybe a little bit out of the out of the norm, kind of had their own style, their own interests outside of status quo things. And I think that was something that was really appealing to you from that young period of your life. And I think it kind of was integrated into your interests in some way. Maybe not that you went into like the same focused likes and passions or subcultures, but I think that you took note in your mind that you're gonna do what you want to do. You're gonna dress the way you want to dress. You're gonna listen to whatever kind of music you want to listen to. Now, I don't know if it's like it used to be when I was a kid, so long ago. But the kind of music you listen to really kind of like divided people, in school especially. And so, I think that you were probably somebody who ended up kind of being a little bit of like not an outsider, but maybe, you know, a little bit different in the things that you were into, maybe not into all the like super popular culture stuff. And I think that over the years, you really developed taste. I mean, really, a very refined, love for the things that you are interested in. And, you know, whatever it is, art, music, clothing, aesthetics, you know, I don't know, literature, cars, whatever it is. It could be many things. But yeah, I feel like this is somebody that really, really influenced you. And I feel like in a way they've been on your mind a little bit. Okay, let's see. Okay, now we have a dog. And you can see the face. This is the nose, and it's kind of leaning down. Okay, like as if it were sniffing the ground. I want to see what else we can find here real quick. More of the dog, but this one looks almost kind of like it's a little vicious. You can see the eye and its mouth is open. And then we have a cat. Okay. So, okay, and we have a person over here. I'm gonna see. My little thing here is not exactly where it usually is. Okay, so I want to look at the dogs. I feel like you're feeling quite guarded. I think that something's gone on where something has really kind of put you in a place of, ooh, I need to really look into this. I need to see what is really going on here. Whatever they're saying to me is just the surface, because there's a lot more beneath. You know, listen, we're Virgos. I'm a Virgo as well, if you don't know. You can't get much past us. we might not call you out on it immediately, but we know. We know when something's not right from the jump. And so there's a sense here of, okay, something has shifted in the most minute way, okay? And this is where people get caught up around us, because they think we're just going to notice if it's these big, you know, whatever things. It's not. It's the little stuff. We are like detectives from the beginning, I think. So, yeah, I'm looking at this and I think there's something going on. Something is amiss. And I think that, you know, there's a sense of kind of really, yeah, getting into a place of like, you're feeling defensive. I think that you've probably been a little irritable, kind of a little bit reactionary. And I don't think that this is, let me just say immediately, I don't think it's a romantic thing. So I don't think this is like cheating or anything like that. But we do have a lunar goddess right here, okay? We have a flower, we have another dog, or maybe it's a coyote, howling at the moon, okay? We have some birds. And we have some birds. And so, And I don't think it's romantic. What I think is going on, I feel like it's almost kind of like, I feel like there is a sense of lack of communication. And I feel like it's affecting the finances in some way. And I feel like you are a person who has been so independent most of your life. I mean, probably like 98%, right? And for whatever reason, whatever this is, if this is like something with like how you're being paid by somebody for your services at your work, this could be like within the home, like shared bills or finances within a relationship, a marriage. But I think that there are some questions and there is some kind of distortion here. I feel like, you keep a good eye on what's coming in, where it's going, where everything is at any given time. And I think that there's some stuff happening where there's not the communication happening. Okay, so you are left without this gap of information, and I think it's making you just really like on edge because you don't want to have to deal with this kind of it's not that it's even going to be a fight necessarily, but this is something that should just be taken care of. Right? And it shouldn't be on your plate to have to deal with this because for whatever reason, it's agreed upon maybe that this isn't something for you to be overlooking, right? Or looking over. Maybe this is like not on your chores list, right? But you're a Virgo, so you check things out. You look it over anyways. And I feel like it's just kind of like there's some kind of like big question mark here. I do feel like part of this, because we have that lunar goddess, it is the distortion of the lunar energy. Okay. And this can lead us to darker, kind of a sense of things are more nefarious than they are. Or things look a little more warped than they are, or we're looking at this and we are not making sense of it because we're missing some kind of part of the formula, okay? So I think the big thing here is to communicate it out. Write it down, what you need to know. Get it clear in your mind before you go looking for answers. Sort it out, but do it in a way that is productive. Let's see. And let's see over here. Starting to feel better. I have my daughter, my husband, me. We all had the stomach flu this week, and for a few days this week, and basically. But I'm starting to feel good today. I was able to eat a little bit, so I'm happy. Okay, so now we have two people. One is seated, and the other one is kind of sitting over here. I almost imagine like somebody sitting and talking, or maybe somebody playing like the piano and the other one's like listening. I almost wonder if at some point in your life somebody had a piano in their house. Maybe like a grandmother or somebody older, and they would just play it here and there, maybe around dinner time, and everybody would kind of just sit and listen, and I feel like you maybe had a pretty musical household in general. Now, maybe you played instruments or not, but I think that there was a lot of music around. Okay, if it was, playing on the stereo or record player or whatever, TV. And that's never left you. I think this is like an important core memory, and it's something that I think it's a good jumping off place to think about when you're doing, we talk a lot on this channel in my readings. I like to talk about active imagination. Okay. And this is one of my favorite techniques for interior work. And this is similar to kind of like self-guided meditation. But a little, it's pretty creative. You get to create your own interior landscape. And in the goings on, right? What work will you be doing in this space? And so, I feel like this is one of those places that when you are starting to feel adrift, when you are starting to worry that you have made some wrong choices, that your life has led you down a path that does not align with the dreams you had for yourself. You don't know how you found yourself here. And we all feel that way sometimes, don't we? This is when we find these kinds of memories, the things that are so potent. They are the little gems of our life. And you close your eyes and you put a doorway there, right? I like to think my favorite is to go up a spiral staircase. And there's a door, every few stairs. And each door is a different color and it has a different symbol on it. And it leads me to these different theaters or memories laid out. And so you get to your door that coincides with this beloved memory. It's not anything out of the ordinary, but this is home. This is togetherness. This is where your loves and passions were planted. And so you open that door and you step through it and you walk into that room and you hear that music and you think, oh, what did the light feel like? What kind of lamps were in there? Were the windows open? What did the air smell like? Was it warm or did they keep the house cool? Where did you like to sit? And then you think of the voice of your grandmother, your grandfather, your aunt, your uncle, your mother, your father, whoever it is. And that music that's playing, maybe even on loop. And there you are. You haven't wandered so far as you might think. You're always just one turn of a door handle away. That's the power that you have. That's the power that we all have. We have to work on using it, refining it. It is a tool. I always kind of laugh. People say, oh, that's made up. This is made up. Oh, they just made this up. You know, and it's often like older people, but the new generations, all the things are, I don't understand what it is. Yeah, everything is made up. Everything is made up. And that's beautiful, and there's so much freedom in that. Will you let that be your doom, or will you let that be your freedom? You have access to so much. An infinite amount of things. And so, we also have a K and a V. It could be a U, KU, but I think it's KV. And this seems important. Okay. And now we have a boat. We have an animal. We have that. Oh, the animal, the cat looks like the boat. But we have two people. We have a person here holding a person here. And I feel like there's a sense of togetherness. There's a sense of, even through the storm, I am here with you. You can count on me. There's a partnership here. And this, I mean, it doesn't have to be with a spouse. It doesn't have to be, you know, with a significant other or anything like that. But it could be family. It could be a sibling. It could be a best friend or one of your children or all of your children. But there's a sense of you are held. When you create, when you put yourself into a collective, it's lasting. Because you mean business. You're not somebody who's frivolous about your time, your energies, or who you share yourself with. Your time and energies, right? You know, so these are people that you support and who support you. There is a kinship. And whatever it is that's going on, that there, you know, it feels like there's anxiety around it, you'll do it together. And it will get done. And everything will be okay. It might not be the same, but it will be okay. Okay, let's see. We have another K. So the K seems very important indeed. We have the K, we have a question mark. Okay, we have a seagull. Kind of just staring out there. So I feel like there's a sense of going to the water, a need for the water. Going and being near it, maybe not in it, depending on where you're at in the world. Might be a little, it might not work for you. Although, I mean, I guess it's probably a lot of the world. Here, it's very cold. I dare not go in the water. But I think there is a sense of being drawn to it. Even in your dreams, I feel like you're dreaming of water, moving water. And I think this really is kind of it's a call to grounding, okay? A call to, I think a lot of, and I really, really think ritual showers are so, I shower. I know some people bathe, right? Some people like baths. I'm not a big bath person, but whatever it is, bath or shower, ritual baths or showers, for the purpose of self-cleansing and absolution, okay, absolving self. I think it's really important that we go through a process in which we are deciding to be honest with ourselves about whatever has come to pass, where we may have been wrong, where we may have chosen against ourselves or abandoned our principles, our virtues, our convictions, which we all do. Okay. We all do it. And that's why we need to have these these little moments of absolution, and going through the process of washing away that feeling. Okay. Of course, we must be very clear with ourselves where we know that we made a misstep, where we did something that did not feel right. We did something that was, unkind, predatory, I don't know. I don't even know, whatever it is, gossipy, trespassing upon people, whatever it is, all of the sins, none of the sins, I don't know, something, right? And, here's one I think of immediately for me is not being clear when I want to say no to something. There are certain people I have a hard time saying no. I've gotten so much better about it. Most of the time it's I don't have time. I love you. I want to be able to commune with you. I'm spread thin right now, which is no fault of anybody's but my own. And, but there are times I need to say no, and I don't. And I don't want to let anybody down. And, and then I feel so guilty, and then I'm mad at myself because dang it, here I am choosing against myself once again. And now I have another, thing that's going to eat up all these hours and make me absolutely, running around with, my head missing and it's just, but this is what I'm saying. And so we go and we are honest with ourselves and we say, I did this, I shouldn't have, I can't change it. I mean, maybe you can, right? You can say, I looked at my calendar and realized I don't want to do this. But no, you just, and then you go through this process of, yes, I'm going to go take a shower and I'm going to, tell myself it's okay. You made a mistake. We can fix this. We can let this go. And I will absolve myself of the guilt. I'm not throwing it on the pile of anxiety, the 3 a.m. wake up and worry, This That's why ritual is important. Even if you're not a religious person, even if you're not spiritual, it's not even, I mean, these things, you know, if you are, then yeah, it has that component for sure of, you know, some kind of faith or, you know, magical thinking or what have you. But even for somebody who does not, you know, partake in that stuff, doing something in a kind of series of actions, it does something to the brain, right? And we're here to get rid of a lot of our conditioning, yeah, and reprogram ourselves with a lot of self-talk, a lot of, you know, shifting that interior dialogue, a lot of, you know, being loving and caring and unconditionally loving and honest, and keeping ourselves, you know, held to a standard. Checking in with ourselves, being real with ourselves. We have to. You have to do that when you're doing the work. Okay, so that was pretty heavy. But you know what? This is a Virgo reading, so I know you're going to know. I know you know. All right, so we have the Divine Doors cards, and we're just going to flip through here. Okay, we have this nice, and I always am wondering, what is this? It's so beautiful. It's the orange and black, it looks like, painted or dyed. They're beautiful. Some kind of, I don't know exactly, maybe a temple. It says, silent skill. I challenge you to unpack your mind. In meditation's grace, the soul can unwind. Breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. There we go. Yes. All right, Virgo, I'm going to tell you right off the top here, I love you, and thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. If you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. If you would like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all, and they mean the world to me. All right, so we'll talk in a few days. I love you. Take care of yourself.